Thank you very much for joining us today again. Today is the English version of the Daedalus 2.4 update. So just to give you a little bit of a context about where I'm coming from, I know that there's a lot of operators who are not happy with the update, but looking past, let's say, the limitations of this update, I feel that with the new features that are being deployed in this update and the ones that are planned, they're just amazing. You know, the wallet is giving not only me as a stake pool operator, but also you as a delegator, so many different options, you know, to make a well-informed decision, you know, when it comes to staking. So I'll try to keep this video as neutral as possible. So this is the landing page of Daedalus. You know, when you open the wallet, this is what you'll get. From here, you go to the delegation center. Now, delegation center just, you know, shows you basic information. Like as an example, you know, 14 minutes until the next epoch. So currently we're in epoch 226. The current slot. So the stake pool operator who has been appointed that slot should mint the block for that. You also have this wonderful place here to show you the level of decentralization of the network. Epoch 226, you can see it's 48% decentralized, and epoch 227, that would be 50%, meaning that half of the blocks would be minted by stake pool operators and the other half by the federated nodes. So let's jump right into it. New stuff about this update. So you go to the stake pool center. The first thing that you'll notice is the green bars. You know, in here you notice they have these kind of status green bars. Now those give you an indication of how close a particular stake pool is to the saturation point. You know, actually, basically, a stake pool that is saturated or oversaturated, you want to just, you know, avoid them because you won't be earning the full potential rewards. So, and then of course, they also made some updates to the slide bar. So let's say you're a delegate and you have, let's say 50,000 ADA to delegate. Now, what this slide bar would do basically is say, hey, listen, if you have 50,000 ADA, it will show you how much your potential rewards would be if you'd stake that with a particular pool. So let's say we turn the slide bar to 50,000 ADA, right? And now look what happens. So P2P, which is the P2P validator, how many ADA would that earn you? Now in this particular case, with this pool you'd earn 37.32 ADA. Now that's the first spot, right? A very small difference, because if you go to the spot 10, that's 36.95 potential rewards, of course. And if you scroll all the way down, let's say kind of like, you know, like, yeah, 100, 109, these guys would give you 35.111. So there's not really big differences, of course. You know, here you have DG that would give you spot 36. Okay, huge big difference, of course, logic. So another thing, kind of like a lot of stake pool operators seem to have difficulty with, that is the fact that everything beyond 224th spot, they don't receive a ranking, and the potential rewards are not seen. They're not visible. But it doesn't mean that these are bad pools, worse, bad performing pools. No way, that's not correct. So as a staker or a delegator, it's really good to do, you know, let's say additional research. Don't only, you know, go by what Daedalus shows. Okay, another great feature, my personal favorite, is this option here on the side, you know, where you get the list, and this enables you to get a much better glance of, you know, how the differences between all of the pools. So again, let's say you have 50,000 ADA you want to delegate, the system would show you the potential rewards that you'd receive per epoch. In this particular case, you can see here very clearly 37.2 all the way down. Of course, you can do your comparisons and stuff, which is really great. I love that. You can also see, okay, who is the top producing pools, you know, as of inception, you know, and in this particular case, that's IOG1 followed by Ocean 1% Zero. Those are the top 3 minting pools at the moment. You can also check the margins. The margins also show you, hey, you have the 0% pools, and that goes all the way up, of course, to like 100%, because obviously a 100% pool, that's like a privately owned pool. You want to stay away from those. And there's one other thing that I want to touch on, that because the 0% pool, I know that there's a lot of complaints and negative stuff said about them, but it's not correct. Because just to give you as an example, we have P2P pool. They're running a 0% margin. We don't know at this stage, if they're planning to increase that over time, but if they have a website, or if you're in contact with them, they should communicate this to you as a delegator. They should be open and frank about, their margin. But one thing, notice this, they have a 7 million pledge. You know what that means? This means basically that with that 7 million pledge, they are also earning rewards. So they have the minimum cost, they'll get that, per epoch, but they have 7 million. With 7 million stake, they will be earning over 5,000 ADA, 5,200 ADA per epoch. Now, that is sufficient, if you ask me, to cover your operational cost. I don't know how much relays they have behind here, what kind of a sophisticated system, but for 5,200 ADA, that seems to me to be sufficient to cover your monthly costs, given that that's like 6 times 5,200. Now, I'm a stake pool operator. I don't have 7 million ADA. I just have 50,000 ADA units. So that is currently pledged in my pool. And yes, I have 3%, which is pretty modest. I personally love this feature, that allows you to do a really good comparison. But it seems that the way the tiles are structured has to do with the potential rewards. Obviously, it reflects the highest rewards, and then it goes to the lowest. So you can do a comparison right there. Now, another thing that I want to mention, and should be said, has to be said, that's honest advice. That is not because a stake pool is not shown here means that it's a bad stake pool. The stake pool is not performing well or whatever. The Leo 4 pool is not in the list here. So what I would advise you to do as a delegator is use some third-party, tool that's developed by the community to do some additional research. Now, one of the tools that you can use to do that is pool.pm. Wonderful site. Shout out to Smart Pool. Great guys. I love this site. Use it every day. Leo 4, right, as an example. We can see that Leo 4, throughout the epoch 206, 26 has minted consistently its blocks. So this is not a bad performing pool. So in other words, not because Leo 4 is not within the ranking of Daedalus means it's a bad pool. Another thing that I would like to mention is that if you have the option to get in contact with your stake pool operator, do so, because it enables you to build that extra level of trust, where you can ask them questions, and they're able to answer you. And secondly, check their website. Make sure that they're updating the website regularly and keeping their delegators informed. Again, Daedalus 2.4 is the best update until now. I look past all of those limitations. Again, I'm a stake pool operator. WEQNT, that's my pool, but it affects me as well. But I look past that, and I see the beauty of Daedalus. I see the amount of improvements that the development team have made. Daedalus has come pretty far away. Think about it. A year ago, 2 years ago, Daedalus was just a drama. Lots of negative releases about Daedalus, how slow it was, taking hours to sync. Today, it takes you about, let's say, seconds, and in the worst case, maybe 2 minutes or 2 to 5 minutes to sync if you haven't used it for a couple of days. So Daedalus has gotten so much better. We are truly on our way to cater to the millions of people to which this system is being built for. Thank you for watching.